Hey guys, what's up? So my grandma sent over some story options. Help me pick one. Are you guys feeling the short ones like magic sneakers or the thicker ones like the genie and the prison?
Short
one, please.
obviously.
Let's go with a short story for today. That way we can repeat it if we need to.
Man, everyone's lazy today. Me too. Chris, please, let's listen to that one with a weird name. Poch, pa, pa.
Po. That's the name given to the small fishing boats converted into passenger transport along the southern coast of Rio de Janeiro. One day, a Bedouin from a distant desert traveled there to visit a relative in terminal stages of cancer. The person lived on a small island about 20 miles off the coast, and to get there, it was necessary to hire one of those boats. There they were lined up, over 30 vessels waiting for tourists seeking sightseeing trips, fishing excursions, or simply transport for locals between the many small islands in the region. The problem, however, was the bad weather that morning. Heavy rain and rough seas with high waves. That meant only a few boatmen had the experience and equipment necessary to make the crossing. The translator of the wealthy Bedouin's entourage inquired around and came back with a list of 8 boats, new and sturdy enough to take on the risk. But the ideal crew had to be selected. The translator began questioning the sailors about their experience until he was interrupted by his employer, who said, "Please just ask them what would be the greatest accomplishment of their life." "Yes, Mr. Bedouin," replied the dutiful translator. An hour and a half later, the traveler's luggage was already aboard a boat named Café Com Pao, coffee with bread, owned by a young sailor with little experience and seemingly little physical strength. The choice caused a stir along the beach. The older boatmen did not hide their concern about the foreigner's decision. After all, the sea was not for fish. Noticing the murmurs, the translator approached his employer to report the gossip and added that he himself was scared of drowning, as he didn't know how to swim. The old desert man didn't pay him any mind, closing himself off as if he had more important matters to attend to. The journey began, and everyone was already soaked by the rain blown into the small adapted fishing boat. Po. Little by little, the island grew larger in the translator's eyes, who now felt less afraid. They arrived safely, disembarked, and the employer gave the sailor a generous tip. Once on the island, the desert elder saw his relative before the lady with the scythe did. They spoke and laughed in an unknown language, and in the end the person passed away. "Everything went well," said the translator out loud before falling asleep in a cozy inn. A day to arrive, another to rest, and then it was time to leave. On the improvised dock of one of the island's beautiful beaches, they heard that on the same day they had crossed the sea, another boat had capsized, overturned by a monumental wave. Fortunately, all passengers were rescued by the Café Com Pao on its return trip to the coast. Immediately, the translator reported the incident to his boss and, not wasting a moment, asked, "Why did you choose that skinny sailor? What made you believe he was capable of completing the mission?" Relaxed now, on a cloudless day and charmed by the local beauty, the old man explained. One boatman of noble heart answered that his greatest dream was a world without hunger. Another, environmentally conscious, said he would only be at peace once there was no more plastic in the sea. Another clutched a Bible to his chest and declared that his life's purpose was to evangelize and save all people. There was also one who wished for electricity and internet for all the poor on the islands. But the chosen one? He simply wanted to beat his addiction to cigarettes. The sun-weathered man continued. He was the only one who placed himself in his dream, who presented a challenge where he was both the protagonist and the antagonist. He didn't try to look grand or generous, just realistic and honest about his suffering. Once he achieves that modest goal, he will have proven capable of doing more for himself. and only someone who respects themselves can truly help others. He knew how much that addiction was holding him back, and he was focused on his fight. It was that focus that convinced me he was the ideal person to face the challenge. We're not here to save the planet, to rescue souls, to redeem humanity's sins, to balance the global economy, or to cure all diseases. Our real purpose is to listen and respond to our own needs, to do our best for ourselves, to better ourselves, and through that to radiate outward silently the possibility that we can all move forward in overcoming our challenges. The rest unfolds like dominoes. You just have to be honest with yourself and do your part. It's vital to understand that the dreams we can actually realize are those in which we tend to our own story directly. Never aim to interfere with someone else's evolution or wish for others to change. Change is personal and intimate. People only change when they reach a higher state of consciousness on their own. There's no use trying to awaken someone who doesn't want to be. Besides, when the desire arises, the answers come too. Everything is in perfect order, waiting for all the pieces to mature in their own time.